Everyone is shocked by the recent actions of Russia in Europe. The whole world is terrifying and appalled that there might be another world war. With Twitter trending with topics like World War III and Russia versus Ukraine, comes Elon Musk to rescue them. Elon Musk has an insane plan to beat Russia. But what is this insane plan to beat Russia? Watch the video until the end to find out. Elon Musk recently tagged the president of Russia and hilariously tweeted, "Would you like to join me for a conversation on Clubhouse?" Also, Musk has just unveiled a terrifying air defense amidst all this. SpaceX, a company founded by Elon Musk himself, is the leading private space exploration company. The company will be collaborating with the United States Air Force on a massive air defense project expected to cost $102 million. The project is unique and far beyond what anyone in the world has witnessed and ever imagined. SpaceX was founded in 2002 by Elon Musk to reduce space transportation costs to enable the colonization of Mars. It designs and builds space rockets and has been awarded a contract worth more than $102 million by the US Air Force. The contract will mainly focus on the transportation of military cargo and humanitarian aid around the globe. Some resources claim that the contract is among the many, including the Air Force Rocket Cargo project that involves using rockets for global logistics for the Department of Defense. Currently, it is unknown as to which spacecraft will be used by SpaceX for the Rocket Cargo program. The program manager of the Rocket Cargo program, Greg Spaniers, said that the Department of Defense would be interested in being able to ship cargo to every corner of the planet to support humanitarian assistance. According to Spaniers, the Air Force will collect the environmental data needed for the program by monitoring SpaceX's launches and landings. Spaniers also confirmed that most disaster areas don't have commercial spaceports nearby. He also added that the Air Force is looking at a wide range of options for rural landings. The contract states that SpaceX will be obligated to demonstrate the technology needed and the capabilities for transporting military cargo, humanitarian aid, and other commodities around the world on a heavy rocket. This contract is referenced as point-to-point transport to move a payload from one point on the planet Earth to another. This will be the largest rocket cargo of its kind that has ever been offered. This relationship has to do with the fact that the Pentagon is very interested in the capability of sending cargo and humanitarian aid anywhere on Earth. Spaniers proclaimed that commercial vendors have envisioned fixed point-to-point transportation to already established sites. He says it is a commercial service that would be willing to procure once it becomes available. Spaniers added that although SpaceX is the first company to work on this contract, the Air Force intends to work with other aerospace manufacturers as part of this program. In the previous year, rocket vanguards were released. It is a project that studied plans on how to transport 100 tons of cargo to any point on the planet using rockets. However, this contract does not specify which of SpaceX's launch vehicles will be used to transport these goods. This arrangement will allow the Air Force Research Laboratory the ability to view and access data for all SpaceX's launches and booster landings to select and evaluate what vehicle would be suitable for the job at hand. SpaceX has been flying reusable rockets for years, and it also has a heavy lift rocket equipped with reusable boosters. This booster is called the Falcon Heavy. Falcon Heavy is the most powerful operational rocket in the world by a factor of 2, with the ability to lift into orbit nearly 64 metric tons or 141,000 pounds. Falcon Heavy can lift more than twice the payload of the next closest operational vehicle, the Delta IV Heavy. Falcon Heavy is composed of 3 Falcon 9 9-engine cores whose 27 Merlin engines together generate more than 5 million pounds of thrust at liftoff, equal to approximately 18 747 aircrafts. It has the Starship system and is developing a reusable booster system called the Super Heavy, which will launch 100 metric tons into Earth's orbit. Musk believes that the ability to travel point to point around the Earth will be among the capabilities of that rocket. Space News reported that the Air Force Research Laboratory will call upon SpaceX to demonstrate heavy cargo transport and landing capabilities as part of the new contract. There seems to be no specified timeline as to when such a demonstration could occur. Spaniers, in an interview with the Space News, said that the Air Force Research Laboratory will leverage several commercial demonstration launches to collect data over the next few years. He also mentioned that the Air Force will collect data whenever SpaceX flies relevant missions instead of driving that schedule. The contract also specifies that SpaceX will design cargo bays specifically for the project. These cargo bays will be designed for rapid loading and unloading and would be fit inside intermodal containers owned by the US Transportation Command. The contract also extends to disaster relief and the delivery of humanitarian aid, in addition to providing cargo and supplies for the US military. Despite all of this, we're still unsure as to when we'll get to see the first demonstration flight from SpaceX. Spaniards has said that other launch providers may be awarded similar contracts in the future. Spaniards also pointed out that a significant heavy cargo from the Earth's orbit has not been attempted before, and it will fully stress the commercial thermal protection system's landing propulsion and landing legs. This isn't the first time SpaceX is working with the United States government, and it probably won't be the last one. SpaceX has made a special request to the Federal Communications Commission as it prepares to further demonstrate what Starlink can do in the US Air Force. In a filing, the company wrote to the SEC that it wants to make minor modifications to its experimental authorization for additional test activities undertaken with the federal government. SpaceX has once again proclaimed that the test will demonstrate that data can be transmitted and received from 1 or 2 static ground sites and 2 or more airborne aircraft at a single location. Another one of its tests will be conducted in a moving vehicle at the same location. SpaceX's Starlink project is where the main focus of the company is. Using advanced satellites in a low orbit, Starlink enables video calls, online gaming, streaming, and other high data rate activities that historically have not been possible with satellite internet. Users can expect to see download speeds between 100 and 200 Mbps and latency as low as 20 ms in most locations. It plans to use thousands of satellites called a constellation in the space industry to establish an interconnected internet network and deliver internet service to existing and potential customers. SpaceX has also announced that they have partnered with Ball Aerospace, an American manufacturer of spacecraft, components, and instruments for national defense, civil space, and commercial space applications. The company is expected to provide all the antennas necessary to connect Starlink satellites to an aircraft. In August, Ball Aerospace was awarded a $9.7 million contract for the DUCSI program. The US Air Force and US Army, through the Innovative Defense Experimentation Using Commercial Space Internet (DUCSI) program, are evaluating the ability of Isotropic Systems' optical beamforming antenna to enable frontline armed forces to access high-speed, real-time data simultaneously over multiple commercial and military satellites. The DUCSI programs aim to capitalize on commercial low Earth orbit satellite constellations to help military internet tactical networking. Military communications have always been on the lookout for a long-distance exchange of voice, video, and data between geographically dispersed elements of a battle force. In recent times, the military has been extremely dependent on satellites for a high data rate transmission of data beyond the line of sight communications for situational awareness. For years, the Pentagon has been on the lookout for long-distance live streaming via drones for military purposes, and collaboration between SpaceX and the Air Force Research Laboratory can solve these problems. As of now, there have been no reports as to when these tests will be carried out. However, SpaceX has said that they will be needing around 4 to 6 months. As the war progresses and the world gears up for what might be World War III, Musk's invention would prove to be very useful, as the United States Air Force would not be easily knocked out in a fight. People going against the company would have to knock out the satellites with another rocket, or they would have to do some next-level hacking to disrupt the transfer of information. These attacks might be possible soon with the nuclear war overhead. However, we'll have to wait and see how Elon Musk and co. handle the future problem. That's all for this video. Check out our newest video on the screen, you will be amazed.